advertising. We all hate it. I can't tell you how many times over the last however many years that a marketing company with the budget the size of Jupiter has tried to shove their goddamn product down my throat. All of this hoping that maybe one day I will shill out $15 for a fucking pizza. Mom. God forbid I try and watch YouTube on something that's not my computer. I can't sit more than 5 minutes without these now 60-second ads playing for like a 2-minute video. It's insane. It's absurd. This all brings me back to when times were simpler. Back to the time of cable. I'm just kidding. Cable was awful. Advertising back then was also terrible. Even compared to today, it was debatably worse. But you know, it was television. How else was I supposed to watch George Lopez? Okay, so then what? How about a more high quality experience that promises to not have ads shoved in my face every few minutes? The ones that I have to pay a premium to go see. Like a film, perhaps. The cinema. A place where the only other ads that you see are right at the start, right before the movie. And those ads are for other movies. And you don't even have to sit through and watch those ads. You could just show up later, is what they want you to think. Let me put this into perspective for you. I was watching my favorite film recently, Madame Web. The movie's going great. Madame Web webbed her webs all over the place and the movie's about to end. Yippee! She webbed up the bad guy so good that she threw him right into a billboard that fell on him and he died. What a fun ending to this great movie. It's what any normal, uneducated person would say. Look a little bit closer. Look a little bit closer at that billboard. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Come on, can you read? It's right there. What does it say? Pepsi? That doesn't make much sense in the narrative of this film. Why in the world would they make him crash into a Pepsi sign? That has nothing to do with the rest of the film. Surely the writers of this film must know some sort of nuance and storytelling, right? Oh. Disregarding that, true purpose for this Pepsi billboard is product placement. Who knew? Product placement is the term generally used for most advertising in movies. A company will give the production studio X amount of money for their product to be shown within the film. You know, sounds like a good idea on paper, right? The studio gets a little bit of money from the production company, and the production company gets that publicity from potentially being in a really big movie. Theoretically. Now this whole thing got me thinking, who the fuck is watching the end of this movie and seeing this discount Spider-Man motherfucker be thrown into a Pepsi billboard and thinking, I could really go for a nice cold glass of Pepsi right about now. What is the thought process there? What is the rationale? There is no way that Pepsi is making any money off of something like that. Right? I want to see if these companies actually do see any growth from these weird ass product placements in movies, or if it's just some sort of weird money laundering thing, because it seems like in a lot of these scenarios it falls back to that. And I don't want it to, but it might. So let's go looking a little bit. Yeah, it's profitable. Somehow. You know, beyond the obvious perks of brand recognition, it's estimated that back in 2020, companies who did product placement like this made a combined revenue of over $1.2 billion. In 2020, a movie called The Gentleman came out, and it had a sponsored segment by the brand Lonsdale. Lonsdale is a shoe manufacturing company that has a product appear in the movie for about 16 minutes. And it's estimated that this product placement earned them about $16 million back. It boggles my mind. I've never heard of this movie. I've never seen it. I've never heard anything about it. But to know that back in 2020, a company made $16.5 million just because Colin Farrell wore a tracksuit of some brand is crazy to me. I understand it was 2020, things were different back then, but $16.5 million. Anyway, one of the more famous examples is back in the 80s with E.T. There was a Reese's advertisement in E.T. It was estimated that the brand deal was only for about $1 million at the time. After E.T. came out, it was estimated that Reese's had a 65% sales increase on their entire brand just because of the movie. And then this led to a whole lawsuit where the people who made E.T. were like, oh, we something, I don't remember. I did this research a really long time ago, but there was something about a lawsuit and Steven Spielberg was there and everybody was angry because Reese's made so much money off of this. Somebody wanted more money, I don't remember who it was. Anyway, there's also Etch-a-Sketch. In Toy Story, remember when they're using the Etch-a-Sketch and they're making the Mona Lisa or whatever the fuck they do in Toy Story? Mona Lisa. 4,500% sales increase because of that. Okay, people just see things in movies and they're like, give me that, I want that, can me consume? Anyway, in some cases I get it. Look at the Transformers movies. Those movies have some of the best and the worst advertising known to man. I think changing Bumblebee into a Camaro was one of the smartest decisions Michael Bay could have ever made. I'm as much a fan of the Beetle design of Bumblebee as anybody. Look, he's right there. But Bumblebee as a Camaro goes so fucking hard. And there's no reason anybody would not want that car after seeing that movie. And that is why, after the first Transformers movie came out, Camaro saw an increase of so much. I don't remember the number. Give me 1 second. 80,000 Camaros were sold after the first Transformers movie. 80,000 of them. Of course, who wouldn't want one? I want one. I've wanted one since I was 8 years old. Who wouldn't want to own Bumblebee? Then, with Transformers, there's the other side of that coin. Look at the one where they turn into dinosaurs for like 5 minutes. In that one, there's 55 branded deals throughout that film. There are 2 insane examples of product placement. There's
the pill.
And then there is this baffling, like 30-second long Bud Light commercial in the middle of the climax of the movie where Mark Wahlberg just has to down an entire can of Bud Light. Just for what? You know, I understand why these film companies do this. You know, movies are stupid expensive to make. They are, and they need to be funded somehow. And it's pretty cool that there's this option where some random ass brand can come in and give you millions of dollars just to have them in the movie. You know, it's not a bad thing, but it's just a baffling thing in cases where it doesn't need to be there whatsoever. You know, in my opinion, I think these big movie studios kind of need to draw a line somewhere. And there's products that build off of the movie and contribute to the art form somehow. Do I have any examples of that? No. There might be. I didn't look. But, you know, maybe. I don't know if TikTok and the Penguin was absolutely necessary, but I guess that's artistic and helpful.
How about that prick's face when he saw the gat? What the fuck?
Sure, let's go with that one. I think that sometimes there should at least be a line drawn to save some artistic merit. Try and insert ads into these worlds that fit the filmmaker's vision so that they can show them to us and not sell them to us. I'm Peter Courtney. Thanks for watching. Bye.